Kev, of course, it's a busy week for us, and the first of those 3 games at home starts tomorrow night against Halifax Town. In some ways, is it quite good to have a game off the back of Saturday?
I think so. Yeah, I think at that stage of the season they come thick and fast, and um, when you don't win the weekend, it's always nice to go quickly again and at home under the lights. I think it's a good one to go play again as quick as possible.
How do you sort of go about trying to get a response? Is it within the players about them to try and lift themselves as much as coming from the coaches?
I think it's got to be around the place. I think we're disappointed not to get a result, but it's our job to be analytical about the performance and what it looked like and what we can do better. But also to look at the good parts and what we've done, and look at the squad and where we're at, and we're pleased with where the squad's at. We think we're in a better place and looking stronger on the bench. So the positives are that we had so much of the ball Saturday. We get to the final third loads. Maybe that bit of quality in the final third. That's got to improve, and we spoke about that, and just take the tension away from that bit maybe. But a lot of positives to take, despite the result, of course.
Obviously, with so many games coming thick and fast, a lot of it will just be rest and recover, won't it? Yeah. And very little training, no doubt, because of the workload. And I suppose the good thing is that you've got a squad to choose from, and you'll have to use everybody within these sort of next 7 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's as you say, there's not loads of training will go on at the minute. It's the time of year where the pitches get heavier, the players are fit. So you've got to keep them ticking over. So it's about being ready for the games, really, and getting the detail in that you need to get in. And I think everyone around the country will be doing similar stuff.
Halifax themselves are doing quite well. I mean, they've got a good away record. What is it about them and Chris Millington's side that makes them quite a tough team to come up against?
Yeah, first and foremost, the top manager. Millie's done brilliant with them. And, even though they lose some players, they still have an identity. They're organised. As you say, their away form's very good, and such a tough team to play away from. When they're away from home. So listen, we've always had good games with them, and I think it's the biggest thing is their organisation and their work rate and their honesty that they give everyone a tough one.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin, obviously, very quick turnaround with this one. Reflecting on the Maher, what's the biggest thing that, as a squad, you've taken from that Maher loss?
Obviously, the disappointment of the loss, but we got to look at the things we've done well, which we got the ball to the final third an awful lot. We've created chances. We've had the ball. I think we looked at in 19 crosses, over 20 crosses. The final third entries are really high, but the quality of that's got to be better, and really got to work the keeper better than we did probably the weekend. In terms of our build-up and the style of play, there's a lot of quality there, and there's some, a lot of players that performed well, but we've got to get moments in games right, and when we get to the final third, we've got to do a lot of stuff better.
It's a funny one, is it? Get that quality in the front, but how do you work on that, especially in such a short time frame as well?
No, listen, I think we always work on stuff, and since I've come here and since the staff have come here, we've worked relentlessly on nearly all aspects of the game. And sometimes what you can't do is tell a forward where to be at the right moment, because you've got opponents who are there. And what you can do is get players and get teams to the final third, and then it creates a bit of magic or a bit of know-how, a bit of nous of knowing where to be at the right place at the right time. And, maybe it's taking that extra pass in the final third rather than being a little bit of anxiety, if you want. But, I've got great belief in the players and the staff and everyone. So we'll keep working as hard as we do and doing everything right that we always do. And nothing will change on that front.
So we also has great belief. Nick Hayes, who we've spoken to as well, he said to us many times that as soon as that first goal goes in, they'll just keep following. How important is that, him coming and having that mentality to this team? Yeah,
that's the mentality everyone's got. They're desperate to do well, and they're disappointed when they don't do well, because we've got great belief in the players, and everyone working at the club. And as Hazy says, he's just come in, but you can see it. You can see what the team and the squad's about. And he's bringing a freshness, if you want, and then I think he'll show the desire that he wanted to be here. And but yeah, listen, absolute belief in what we're doing and what the players can do, and we keep going.
I mean, with Nick as well, he literally could not get the smile off his face. He's so happy to be back here as well. It must delight you to see that.
Yeah, but listen, that's nothing I don't know. I know, and that's honestly, despite what you may think, the players love coming to work. I love coming to work with the players, and we're really in it together. And it's great to hear Nick say that, of course, and I think that tells you from his time before how much he enjoyed it, that he wanted to come back. And that's a credit to everyone at the football club, credit to staff, who he gets great coaching from, and I think the people he works with as well.
Just on the team needs side of things, Captain Miley said he was seeing somebody last week. How's he looking?
Yeah, he'd done a little bit on the grass today with physio, so that's important. That be a big one to get back as soon as possible, Cav. But we want him getting back and staying fit for the rest of the season because he's such a big player for us.
And Jack Bridge obviously travelled with the team to Maidenhead, but wasn't involved?
No, I think it was probably he hadn't trained or done anything for 10 days, but got the all clear Friday to crack on. Really, if you want, so it was important he'd probably done a session on the pitch rather than chucking someone who hasn't been involved at all.
Obviously, Colin, I know we've spoken about before, but any latest on that?
No, it looks like his season's done with his grade 3 on the hamstring. So the period of recovery will take him probably towards the end of the season.
Well, looking ahead to this Halifax team, they are a stubborn side, a strong defence in there. Going up against them, what's the quality you'd like to see from yourself inside? More important, most of all.
Listen, I think we've gone there and got a good result away from home. Millie's teams are always, as you say, very well organised, and they've got goals in them. In the front line, and despite obviously losing 1 or 2 players, they keep churning them out and keep the consistency there. But yeah, we've got to focus on ourselves. Keep the quality that we've got. And that we're doing so many good things, but we've got to add the last little bit to it as well. And I think that's important. And I think it's important not to lose confidence when you lose a couple of games. They've got to keep that belief there.
I remember asking you this question before, the week before the game got postponed as well. Obviously, still quite relatively short time since you made the trip up to Halifax. How much of a role does that play in preparation for this one? Or do you see it as a different team you're facing?
No, I think you'll always look at teams, and there'll be a part of that you look at, of course. I think, you can play different teams in different periods, but I think the philosophies of teams would probably remain the same. I think look at Southend, and they've now got a philosophy and the way of playing that ain't going to change. Halifax have got their principles, you can see that. So there'll always be tweaks, I think, within that. And if there's anything we can take from the previous game, we will do, of course. And I'm sure they'll do the same. So, it won't. You've got to perform on the night, And when you go into a game, there's things you can look at, but you've got to perform when you cross the white line.
Of course, back at Roots Hall as well, having been back at home as well. How much of an impact can that have?
Yeah, of course. Big crowd in, hopefully, and can get behind the lads. They need it. We want to win more games than we did last couple, of course, but we've been on good form before that, so it's important that we go there and try and take the game to Halifax, of course, and make our home turf a really tough place for opposition to come. And we can bounce back from Saturday quick, then brilliant.